Hey everyone, welcome back to AFTV. Welcome to another live show. It's 5 PM here UK time. I'm with Robbie. It's the night before.
Come on.
North London derby.
Come on, I'm pumped.
I'm pumped
and I can't wait for this game tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to it. By the way, big up Joe, big up to Brennan. We're actually in a new studio at the moment, which we're still hastily putting it all together, and they've been doing a fantastic job this week. So well done to those guys, man.
I've got to give him
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah. That's all right. He said that's all right, no worries. No, but the work they do, guys, behind the scenes, just to like put this all together is and how quickly they do it, the turnaround's unbelievable.
He's there saying, "Oh, thank you, I appreciate it." But underneath that, he's going, "You fucking." I was just running around all week.
I've not had a day off for 3 weeks. Yeah, don't worry.
Well, no, I appreciate that, man. And listen. Yeah, James, I can't wait for this game, man. We've done so many videos, all the talking this week. I just can't wait. I just want the game to start now. You know what I mean? I honestly, it's huge. It's absolutely huge. And oh man, I'm buzzing. Buzzing. And
I know after the game, win, lose or draw, you'll always be there doing your player ratings. And guess who else can be there doing their player ratings? It's all of you following, because with the new AFTV Plus app, which I am really poorly trying to show you, click the link in the description below, guys. Then you'll find the link will either take you to iOS. If you've got an iOS device, it'll take you to the Google Play Store. If you've got Android or any other phone, guys, download the AFTV Plus app. That's where you can do your player ratings straight after the game, rank them out of 5 stars. It's really cool. We're then going to start taking those into account when we do our player ratings as well. Robbie will start comparing sort of his with what you guys have voted for as well, so we can all kind of build a bit of community here. We'll be discussing after the game via the app and other really cool things we've got coming as well. Also check out the Starting 11 Selector, so you can let us know who you'd have in the Starting 11 ahead of the game. Again, something we're going to start incorporating when we're doing our Predicted 11 shows, which would be great to see what you guys are saying. Weekly news articles, polls, and a lot more as well on the app. So as I mentioned, AFTV Plus app, brand new. It's out now on the Apple Store and the Google Play Store.
And also there's a competition on there this week. If you watch the Invincible podcast, we've got a competition where we're giving away a brand new iPhone 14, plus you can win a chance to win £10,000 by going on AFTV PICK10. So make sure you check that one out. So
that's great fun, because essentially the game is you pick who you think is going to win, lose, or whether there'll be a draw in all 10 Premier League games. You stand the chance of winning some amazing prizes. So yeah, go check that all out, guys. But the app's really cool, and it's a really nice way for you guys to just get your AFTV on the go, notifications, we'll send you updates, all that. So yeah, we're looking forward to doing a lot of cool stuff with you guys via the app. Right. This is going to be a little bit of a Q&A, really, because obviously we've done a lot of our talking. You'll see on the channel we've done there's a lot of content. If you haven't seen all the super fan debates, couple previews, was there one based out in the States? I think I saw
you know what, that was a great video. I love that video. It's 2 US fans going at it, you know what I mean? One Arsenal, one Tottenham, absolutely going at it. And this game means a lot to a lot of people around the world, you know. There's Arsenal fans all around the world, and this game, just the same way we're feeling about it here, you know, and we'll be at the game tomorrow, they're feeling about it all around the world, you know what I mean? They can't wait for the game to kick off as well. So it's a huge game, and particularly the fact that, you know, we're top of the league, just above them by 1 point. There's not a lot to divide the two teams, if I'm being honest at the moment. The two teams are very, very evenly matched. So that's what makes the game even more fascinating. It's not like you can look at one team and say, right, they should smash Tottenham or Tottenham should smash Arsenal or whatever. You know, it's an evenly matched game, but I'm still very confident that we'll get the job done. I really am. Yeah.
Well, listen, we're going to do a bit of Q&A, which means you guys send in your questions, anything you want to discuss North London derby related or other things. We've got a little bit of news to go through as well. But before we do, I'm going to throw some questions at you. Is there a North London derby that stands out to you? Is there a game in particular you remember as a great North London derby? Is there one I'm thinking mainly the home ones? We'll keep it on theme. On you know.
I'm going to go back to. There's been some great ones. I mean, winning the league at White Hart Lane was incredible. We didn't actually win that game. I remember though, I was always really a bit annoyed about that game, which is crazy to think about now, because we were 2-1 up. and then we gave away a penalty near the end, and we ended up drawing the game.
Yeah.
And you know, you could see the players were bitterly disappointed about it, but they'd won the league, and then they ended up celebrating on the pitch and stuff like that. I'll go to when we beat them 5-2 when we very first started AFTV.
Yeah.
And we beat them 5-2 at home. And, you know, doing our first interviews, speaking to fans and stuff like that, and how happy the fans were and stuff like that. So that one's going to live in my memory, because that's kind of when we got underway on AFTV. So, yeah, but we've had a lot of great wins against them over the years. We really have. I always remember the game when... was it the same? It wasn't the same. But you remember the moment that I always like in the North London derby, apart from obviously again Henry's knee slide, right? But when Fabregas scored that goal straight from the kickoff.
Yeah, a couple of years before.
Honestly, that was one of the best moments.
Yeah. That was incredible.
You know, straight from the kickoff.
Yeah.
Just run down the other side and put it in. I mean, it was limbs.
Yeah.
Absolute limbs. And I remember being at White Hart Lane as well when Rosicky scored that absolute screamer as well. I mean, there's been some great moments down the years in North London derbies.
Yeah, that Fabregas one is a great one.
It's one of my favourite moments, man.
Do you know what? Were you at the game?
I was at the game,
So I was watching it on Sky, and that's one of those moments where I've got no doubt it was unbelievable in the stadium, but I reckon it was almost just as good from home, because we saw us go 1-0 up and we're celebrating, and you got the commentary, and you got, you know, everyone's talking about it, you're watching the highlights, and then as they cut back they go, oh, Fabregas is in, and then the next touch you see after they come back from the replays is Fabregas burying it, and suddenly you're back up again. And so in a weird way, because we didn't have everything else, the minute they cut back we're like, what? And it's like, how did that happen? But I don't care, we're 2-0 up.
Straight from the kickoff, just run down the other end and score. I mean, it was that was an awesome moment, and absolutely loved that. Loved that.
So I've only ever been to one North London derby, and it was the Torreira 4-2 at home.
No, that was great as well.
The Emirates was absolutely rocking
great.
that day. Absolutely rocking.
Torreira took his shirt off.
And you know what? Because it was post Wenger and Emery was kind of getting his ideas together, and we were still learning a lot about this manager and stuff. I think obviously we know how things went, but at that time it felt like I think we'd just drawn with Liverpool in the weeks before, and so there was almost a suggestion that, okay, Arsenal, they're actually a good side, maybe there's something here, and then we beat them 4-2, and that was a pretty special day as well.
Yeah.
So,
by the way, there's a comment here from John Bamford.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what team he supports, but he says Spurs have a better manager and a better attacking force. Aside from being at the Emirates, one has to favour Spurs. Well, hold on a minute. Spurs don't have a better defence though, right? I'd say we've got better defenders than them. We've got a better midfield than Spurs, and yeah, they have a great attack, which is probably, you would say is better than ours, but ours is very, very good. Saka, Martinelli, Jesus is a brilliant attack, right? So, you know, you can't just say they've got a better attack. What about defence? What about midfield? There's more to a game than just your attack. So it's not just the fact that we're playing at the Emirates. We've got a damn good team, and that's why we're top of the league at the moment. So we can go into that game with a lot of confidence. And of course, yes, add the Emirates into it. The Emirates is going to be absolutely rocking tomorrow.
Yeah.
I mean, the Emirates has been rocking all season. Yeah, but for this game, it's going to be off the chart.
It's true. HE agrees with you. He says, yes, the 5-2 game RVP Sanya goals. I remember because we weren't playing well that first half, and we were 2-0 down, and Sanya pulls one back with that good header. But then I think it was Arteta who crossed the ball, actually. It was Arteta's cross to Sanya. And I remember when Van Persie swiveled and spun and put it into the corner and made it 2-2 before half-time. And I thought, we're winning this now. Because the tide had completely swung, especially at home. Rosicky scores early in the second half, and then it's all fun and games. And we beat them 5-2 the year after. So, listen, we've had some fun in North London derbies at home, but actually we've also had a few times where they've halted us, where we've had good sides, and I'm thinking we're going to beat them. And I think we drew 3 times in a row with them, 1-1 at the Emirates. I think that's right. They're quite. I'll have a little look back at the.
Man, we've smoked them loads of times in the league at home. Jabalu Lana, he's back again. He says your midfield isn't better than Bentancur and Højbjerg. Xhaka is the only player who makes it into the Spurs midfield. Are you mad? Thomas Partey, Odegaard, What was?
I'm with you.
Yeah, hold on, man. What was? Listen, I don't know what this guy's on. What are you on? Højbjerg and Bentancur? Listen, man. Behave, son.
I'm with you. I think we got the better midfield, though I quite like their midfielders. Jay Martin says 2-2 and 2 red cards and a Kane injury. That's his prediction.
Well, listen, we don't wish injury on any player,
no,
right?
Of course.
So, you know, it's not about injuries, it's about us winning the game. That's all I want to see, us win the game, not wishing no injuries on any team. On Spurs, not wishing no injuries on them. Listen, if you're going to win big games, you've got to do it fair and square. If you're going to win the league, you've got to do it fair and square. If you're going to get into the top 4, you can't be hoping for injuries to players. That's not how you do it.
All right, let me ask you this. If you can guarantee one of these two things,
okay,
for the end of the season, we finish above Spurs or we finish in the Champions League group spots?
We finish in the Champions League spots is more important to me right now for Arsenal than finishing above Spurs. Unless Spurs finish second, then we finish above Spurs. But then, then we win the Champions League anyway. So I guess, that wouldn't be... You'd be talking about us finishing 5th above Spurs in 6th or something like that. It's essential that Arsenal get in the Champions League. It really is, what I mean?
It is, but a little part of me, I'm confident the team will get into the Champions League, but I'm also quite confident that Spurs will have a pretty strong league campaign.
Yeah.
So if I could guarantee that we finish above Spurs, I'd be pretty confident that we're in 2nd or 3rd place by that point.
Well, yeah.
That's one thing, but also I guess the question is around
it's the way you ask the question. I'm thinking it's like Champions League or we need a Champions League. That's more important than finishing above Spurs unless Spurs are in 2nd place. You know what I mean? If Spurs finish 3rd and we finish 4th, for me that's not the end of the world because we just need to get back into the Champions League, get back into that top 4. That is really, really important.
All right, my next question, and we do have some comments and super chats coming, we'll get to them in one set, but my next question is, if you could take one Spurs player in this Arsenal team.
Ooh.
You can say none.
Which one would I take? It'd be Kane or Son, wouldn't it? One of them two you take because they are world-class players. So it'd be one of them two you take.
Is there another position in our team you think we need more, though, than that maybe? The thing is, if they had a great midfielder, if they had like Dembele...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying with that guy earlier. I'm not looking at the rest of their team and saying, wow, we definitely could do with a player like that. I would have liked to have signed Basuma. In the summer, I think that was but they're not even playing him at the moment, which is weird.
What do you think of all that? He said he's not tactically ready or something.
It's just a bit strange, you know what I mean? But listen, I don't really care about their team, but I think if it was one player, it's one of those two. They're the two players that over the last few years have literally carried Tottenham with their goals. They've been the difference, So for me, It'd be Kane or Son.
Well, Jack Lynch thinks that Jesus will be better than Kane, a more complete player.
Yeah, listen, that could
between them, age-wise, and
listen, that could be the case in the future. At the moment, we have to be man enough to admit that Kane is better. You know what I mean? He's a more prolific goal scorer, and Son is a prolific goal scorer, and they're great players. So. You'd take one of them two, if it was me.
But what I would say is, and Tottenham fans, don't get on me, yes, Kane is undeniable, but I stylistically prefer strikers like Jesus.
Yeah, no, I love Jesus, and Kane is sort of... They're different types of strikers, aren't they? You know what I mean? But I love Jesus. I absolutely love Jesus. I'm just going, it's not that I want... I'm happy with what we've got. I'm happy with what I look at. As I said, a lot of people have been talking about the front three of Tottenham, which we know is excellent. Without then, I had to remind some Tottenham fans during the week that, well, what about our front three? Because our front three is tasty as well, you know what I mean? Especially how they've been playing this season.
Yeah.
Because you've got lots of pace in there with Martinelli, Jesus and Saka. You've got 3 players that always press, that work hard, that get back. You know what I mean? You've got 3 players that create problems for all defences in this league. So, you know, I'm more than happy with what we've got. And there's not a lot, you know, especially this season, there's not been a lot in it. You know, I know Son in the last game got a hat-trick, but up until then he'd been a bit off form. So, no, I'm more than happy with what we've got.
Yeah. Dave Jordan says, Spurs might park the bus and beat us. Won't change where I see our team. We're building a title-winning machine that can scrap for 4th with Man United and Chelsea. It's an I kind of see the angle Dave's coming at here. Almost, you never, ever want to lose, but there's something to be said for, like, if things were to go badly tomorrow, I wouldn't suddenly feel differently about this team, and suddenly everything, you know, the season's over and everything I thought they could do, they're not. I've seen enough in the way we started this, unless things go really bad, and we completely capitulate, then I'll be worried.
I think it's one of them situations where you don't get carried away either way. If we win that game, you know, even if we smash them, even say we won 3-0 like what they did to us last season, I still wouldn't get carried away. I'd still be like, I'd be carried away in the fact that we've beaten them. But you can't get. It's such a long season, and we're only right at the start of the season. Equally, if we lost, you wouldn't get carried away with you know, obviously you'd be miserable because it's them. But again, you can't get carried away with that either, because if you remember last season, at the Emirates, we beat them 3-1. We absolutely annihilated them, but they still ended up finishing above us in the league. So this is why you can't get too carried away earlier on in the season.
Yeah, I mean, we smashed Tottenham a few times in recent memory and finished behind them. So you're right, there's kind of no real pattern that, you know, just because you win that North London derby. Arsenal have, I think, in North London derbies, especially in the home ones, Arsenal have shown on a few occasions, they've almost been reminders to Tottenham, like, listen, we're still a very good team. And where Tottenham have been finishing above us more recently, Arsenal have needed those derby wins, some FA Cups, just to say, listen, you know, relax.
Pipe down.
Yeah, a little bit, because, you know, last year was all about the battle for top 4 in the Champions League. But Arsenal and Arsenal fans don't want to be in the Champions League just to compete and be happy. We want to be in it so we can get the players we want, so we can add quality, so we can challenge for titles in the Champions League. People might say that's out of our reach and we can't do that, and they might laugh about it, but that's the aspirations that we have and want to have. I don't think it's kind of like you enjoy that laugh, that sort of, hey, we finished above you, very kind of, it's very short-lived before you get back in a new season. And it's like, well, what are you going to win? You know, and that's where I think Arsenal winning the FA Cup has been quite important in the last 5-6 years, where Tottenham have actually been finishing above us.
Listen, 100%, it's all about what you've done at the end of the season. But tomorrow, the moment is the North London derby, and we want to win it. But I wouldn't be getting super carried away. If we win the game tomorrow, I'll be getting super carried away in the moment that we've beaten Tottenham, but there's still a long way to go. I mean, you know, you think about it, if we win tomorrow, we've got to dust ourselves down, because we then got Liverpool next week. You know what I mean? They're coming thick and fast, you know, a tough game. So but listen, it would be massive for the fans, massive for the morale of the team.
I agree.
To win this game.
Frankie Official says 5-3 to Arsenal. That'd be interesting.
Jeez.
Akash
Bogrel Patrol says, I'm very nervous about this game. It's very close. It is very close.
What a name as well, by the way.
If I was, when we went into last year's game, was that, am I right in saying that was the 6th game of the season?
It was the 6th game.
So we lost our first 3 games.
And then won the next 2.
Then we beat Norwich.
And Burnley.
And none of them were
2-1-0s.
Very impressive wins. And then we were going up against Tottenham, who'd been flying. Their manager had got the manager of the month. They'd spent a little period at the top of the league, and we absolutely annihilated them. That's why that home advantage is so big. So I'm confident going into the game.
That was so funny, that start to last season, because I remember after 3 games, they were top, we were bottom, and that was the narrative. They had their fun over the international break. 3 games later, they lost the next 3. We won the next 3, including beating them. We leapfrogged them in the table. And look, okay, ultimately...
And then they went and sacked their manager.
Yeah. They did that very quickly, didn't they?
So,
did he play another game after that?
I think...
Yes, sorry,
he did.
And he played You got through to about October, of course.
Yeah, and then the funny thing was the narrative at the start of the season was that Arteta would be the first one sacked, and they actually ended up sacking their manager, and then later on bringing in Conte. So it's like I said, it's even if they were bottom of the league, it's a tough game as far as I'm concerned, because we're playing against Tottenham in a North London derby, and both teams know what it's all about. Both teams are going to be pumped up and ready for it.
Yeah, they absolutely are. John asks, who should start a left back and right back and why? Well, this has become a debate now. It's, Tomiyasu was excellent when he played last season, but White's been brilliant. He was signed as a centre back, and now we have no intention of changing the defence. And you got Zinchenko and Tierney offer two completely different things. So we touched on it in the preview show, but let's remind people what we go with.
I'm going with Ben White and Tierney. I'm just like, I don't want to change a winning team. We played that game against Brentford and we were awesome in that game. That was one of the most complete away performances I've seen for a long time. And I just don't really want to change the team. And I think, we are going to have moments in the game when we're going to have to be doing some proper, solid defending. And, we saw the goals that we conceded against against Manchester United on the counter-attack. And I'd say Tottenham are better on a counter-attack than United. So we're going to have to defend solidly. So all four of those players that I've just named out, those two players that I just named out are solid defenders, as well as be able to go forward. So that would be, for me, the players that I'd be starting with.
Yeah. Dave says, City regularly get beaten by bus parkers like United and Spurs in the past few years. That is true. Who has won more major trophies? Bus parking doesn't bring sustainable results. Yeah,
I so agree with that. And we've been doing a lot of debates this week with Tottenham fans, here on AFTV, on Tottenham platforms as well that we've gone on to, and even on other platforms that I've been on this week. And that's one of the things that I've been saying, that I just think it's very difficult to win the league by just playing the negative style of football that I've seen Tottenham playing. I think years ago you could have done that. Remember Mourinho at times sort of did that. You had... you
could be more pragmatic.
You could be very pragmatic. But I think because of teams like City, because of teams like Liverpool, you just... you can't have, and I just think that over a period of time, a lot of the other teams have stepped up as well, attacking wise. So over a period of time, if you're just going into games, and there's a lot of games when you ain't got the ball for most of the game, you're going to drop points. And sometimes those drop points are not necessarily by losing, but they're drawing. You're drawing games where you should have won because you haven't had enough of the ball. And I think Tottenham have been a bit fortunate in some of the wins that they've had as well, when I look at it. I remember when they played Nottingham Forest, I thought they were very fortunate that day. Again, that was only because Forest missed so many chances. And obviously Tottenham, we know about the guys that got up front that will put them away. Against Chelsea, they got absolutely peppered for the whole game and got a very fortunate equaliser at the end. But really and truly, Chelsea should have been out of sight. It's about Arsenal taking their chances tomorrow. That's what I think, because I do think we'll get chances, and just defending right, because I just don't think that style of play that Tottenham have got is sustainable. I agree with that guy. Sustainable to win a league over a season, I don't think you can. Not in the Premier League.
Rye25 says, Tierney and Tomiyasu, I hear we shouldn't change a winning team, but I'd drop Ben White for this one, Robbie and James.
Why?
I mean, I'd go White.
I'd like him. Did he say why?
No,
because I'd love to know what if he could come back with that and tell us the reason. Tell us the reason why, because I just don't see what has Tierney done wrong. What has Ben White done wrong?
Could Tomiyasu dealing with Son be a part of it?
He didn't really deal with him very well the last time we played, to be honest. Although he was just coming back from injury. But I just think that Ben White is playing well at the moment. So why change it?
I just wouldn't. There's a difference between preparing for the opposition and then just completely compromising everything you do. I think I'd play Zinchenko, but I haven't got a problem with Tierney playing. But ultimately, I'd stick to what we want to do. I wouldn't start messing around, holding midfielders, whatever. Xhaka's been getting forward. Let him get forward.
I don't think we should change anything about how we're playing. We just need to defend better. The Man United game,
stay focused.
The Man United game was a loss of focus maybe the game was that sometimes like we was too on top, that we just, took our eye off the ball defensively.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It wasn't because of how we played.
Yeah.
Right. So I think, when we beat Tottenham last year at home, we took the game to them. And I think we're at home. We've got our fans behind us. This style of football's been working for us this season. Let's go for it. I don't want to see us like switching up formations to try and deal with their threats.
No, I agree.
They're coming to our place. If we was going to their place, I get it. We can't go there and probably play us on the front foot as what we did against Brentford. Because they're a much better team than Brentford. But at the Emirates, they're going to be fearful of us being on the front foot and really coming at them, and that's what we got to do.
Chaitanya says, stay focused, take our chances, got a busy October.
Very true.
Well, I think it's also, while it's also leave everything out there, it's realise that it's a marathon, the Premier League, not a sprint. We don't need to be chasing it like it's the penultimate day of the season and it's win or die, and this is what I say on the Forever Arsenal podcast. Just be quite smart, Arsenal. Keep calm throughout the whole game and we'll be all right. Banana Boy says, I see a 2-1 Arsenal, Jesus and Martinelli.
Yep, couldn't have bet against that. They've been scoring goals this season. Charlie says Ben White doesn't get the credit he deserves. I guess it's because he does nothing special, but he does his job and he does it well. He turns up and does what he's supposed to do and goes home.
Yeah. Sorry, I was distracted by the comments. Was that on Tommy Asu?
John Bamford, he keeps coming at me. He's a Tottenham. He got to be a Tottenham fan, is John Bamford. He says, who understands how to win the league, Robbie? Arteta or Conte? Yes, Conte won the league at Chelsea. Are all these Tottenham fans Chelsea fans? Because every time they keep talking about what Conte's done at Chelsea.
Yeah, I know.
Worry about what he's done at your place. That's what he ain't done nothing at your place yet. So let's wait and see. Yeah, he has won a title. That's, brilliant. There's been that, you're going to get next Ranieri. He won the title as well, right? So I get it. He's a good manager. We're not disrespecting him. He's a quality manager, but he hasn't won nothing for you yet. And as somebody pointed out, I forget I was on a video yesterday, as somebody pointed out, Jose Mourinho, only club he's never won a trophy at in his managerial career is
Tottenham. I mean he
was brought in to win trophies.
I've got to say,
he'll get us a trophy at the very least. He'll wreck the place for it to get us a trophy. No, all he did was wreck the place.
it's quite funny when you look at his list of sort of achievements at clubs.
Never won even went to Roma the other day, won a trophy.
Funny thing, he got them to the final, then they sacked him.
Yeah.
Before
Tottenham.
2 days before the final.
Yeah. Rabia Mohammed says, buzzing for the game tomorrow, flying in from Nigeria tonight. Have a safe flight, mate. He says, I believe we need a complete performance from all areas of the pitch. Big up to AFTV, been supporting from day one. Listen, you're right. Let's not, underestimate Tottenham in any way. They're a good side.
Yeah,
they are a good side. We may dislike them, we may not like Tottenham. Yeah, I know, I get all that. But one thing we've got to acknowledge, they are a good side. There's not a lot in it between the two sides, and that's you can see it from the league positions. But so we're going to have to be on point on the day for sure.
Yeah, Paul says, I keep Ben White. He dealt with Zaha and he'll deal with Son. Tierney is better defending at left back, so solid line is the foundation for winning. Yeah, I hear that. I actually hear that. I can understand.
Why would you bring in because you
Zinchenko?
You bring in Zinchenko. Why would you bring in Zinchenko?
Because I don't think Kulusevski is going to play, but that is a contradiction what I said last night. So was it yesterday? I can't remember. Anyway, I don't think Kulusevski will play, and he's kind of their main creative force. So I think they're going to have almost three runners in Richarlison and Son, and Kane does drop deep sometimes, but he's more for the centre-backs to deal with. So I'd keep Zinchenko because I think he just keeps the ball. He's creative and he just rotates so well with Xhaka and Martinelli. And with Tierney, while I thought his performance was a lot better against Brentford, I still don't think he's fully back to his best yet. I still think he's getting used to that role. So that's what Arteta's been kind of going with for most of the season.
But I like the way Tierney dropped in sometimes, and almost like a free.
Yeah.
And He's just
he does that well.
he's a better defender than Zinchenko.
He's definitely better. He's definitely far more reliable.
I know what you're saying, Zinchenko, creativity wise,
Yeah.
But,
I mean, he literally is a. The funny thing about Arsenal is we play a 4-3-3, right? So 3 central midfielders. But by the time White and Zinchenko have tucked in and Jesus drops in, that is such a congested, but in a good way, area of the pitch where Arsenal can really dominate, have a lot of control. So I'd go with Zinchenko. I think he will go with Zinchenko, by the way. I think he'll go with him over Tierney.
You think he'll go with Zinchenko?
Yeah, I think he will.
Listen, it's a great problem to have that, now we're talking about quality replacing quality. We haven't always had that over the years,
No.
you know what I mean?
This never used to be a discussion.
Yeah, you know what I mean? The discussion used to be Mustafi or,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, and things like that, you know what I mean? At least now we're having, it's not picking on Mustafi, but, you know what I mean? It's a better quality of player that's there at the moment.
Well, I mean, 100%, certainly. When we signed Kolasinac, who was our left back? I mean, Monreal was actually a decent servant.
Monreal was good.
But, Kolasinac or Monreal, it's a level below Tierney and Zinchenko for me.
Yeah.
Right, let's go through these. This super chat as well from Rye says, if it's still 0-0 or 1-1 after 70-80 minutes, then I'm worried, guys, not going to lie, but I reckon we'll take the game to those scums and win 3-1. Jesus with 2 goals and Martinelli. North London will be red after the final whistle.
Agreeing with a lot of that. I'm going for 3-1 as well. I see goals in the game. I really do, though, feel that Arsenal really need to get at them from the very start of the game. I think it's going to be a really high tempo game.
Yeah.
So I
don't think that's what Tottenham will want. I think they'll want to kill the momentum. I think they'll want.
You'll be saying, if you're a Tottenham fan, you'll be hoping that they flatten the vibes at the Emirates, and I guess that's by you flatten the vibes by maybe getting a goal early or something. But I just can't see Tottenham coming at us early.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel it'd be the other way around. I think it'd
unless
be
they want
us.
to surprise us. Imagine that. Imagine Conte says go for them. Just really unsettle them.
Yeah, listen, you
got to do something.
Sometimes you've got to try something different, and that could be a brave move. Because I don't think Arteta would be expecting that for them to come at us.
No.
But then to come at us, they're going to have to change their formation, aren't they?
Yeah. Jack says Richarlison to bag a couple. I hope you're wrong. Didoda says, you guys think any chance Arteta falls out by the end of the season and Tuchel replaces him? No. I don't see that happening. No. There was, I just missed the comment, but someone said Xhaka for man of the match. Dax says Xhaka 100% man of the match tomorrow. Listen, I said it on Forever Arsenal. He's actually got a knack for, especially the home game, North London derby. He really enjoys them.
He knows what it's all about.
Quite a few really big performances in these games.
No cards tomorrow. Actually, Jesus is 1 card away from a suspension, isn't he? And that would keep him out of the Liverpool game. But listen, I hope that Jesus doesn't have that at the back of his head, because whatever happens. If he was to get suspended for that game, let's just win this one in front of us,
Yeah.
Sideline with Smithy says, big up to AFTV crew and you guys and Turkish. Really hope you guys really helped to change my life. I'm back on top now. I love your channel. Thank you. Come on, you Gunners. Forever in your debt. Well, that is a very nice message. Listen, thank you very much for that. And I'm glad that you're back on top. How we can be having you even further on top is if we win tomorrow.
Imagine that, yeah.
Then you'll be on top of the world, bro, because I'll be up there with you. Because I'm telling you,
yeah.
Gotta win.
Wow, and there's some good games this week we can enjoy.
Gotta win.
Listen, that message actually genuinely means the world, and I'm really glad that it's helped for sure. The content we do and everything as well. Turkish does on his channel, so I'm really glad, and thank you for the comment and the support, because without everyone here watching and supporting and commenting and creating these discussions, we don't do what we do. So big thank you to all of you.
See a message here from Rodney Francois. It says to highlight and rely.
I'm just reading that, to highlight.
Is that just a misspelling there? Is he means to say to highlight how reliant? I'm sorry, I'm a little bit confused by the message.
I think Rodney's asking basically, we're too reliant. Maybe saying we're too reliant on Jesus. Therefore, why do you basically think Tottenham won't plan for that, essentially?
Of course they're going to plan for that.
But I don't think we are too
I think every team's... Huh?
I don't think we are too
I don't think we're over-reliant on Jesus, because if you've watched a lot of the games, there's been lots of threats from Martinelli, and now in recent games there's been lots of threats from Saka as well. So I don't think we're over-reliant on him. I feel, of course, they're going to have a plan for him. If you don't make a plan for Jesus, you're going to lose. Yeah. So of course they're going to have a plan for him, whether that plan works or not, because Jesus this season's been a very, very hard player to shackle, because he's just so... I really want to see him and Martinelli and Saka getting at...
Yeah, having fun.
Getting at that defence, getting at Emerson Royale. Jesus, with your quick feet and speed and power and aggression, going at Dyer and Ramiro. Yeah. Because those guys can be rash.
I agree, commit.
You know what I mean? Yeah, let them commit. Martinelli on the other side as well. Because we can get at them. Sessegnon, whoever it is. Get at that defence. Let's get at them in midfield. Get at them. You know what I mean? I think that's really where the game can be won.
I completely agree. Well, Rai says as well that we need to be smart, patient, and clinical tomorrow. I mean, obviously, all those things. It was a topic we very much touched on.
I think those three things. Spot on. You're spot on, Rai. And we've got to be smart, patient, and clinical. If we're those things, I think we'll come out on top.
Let me go in a different direction now with the conversation, although we just had another super chat come in. What was this? I haven't seen a game apart from Southampton where Spurs looked good to me, but I don't like the matchup. I think they're exactly the kind of team that could cause us problems. I hope the boys prove me wrong. Yeah, that reflects a lot of what we were saying.
Yeah, listen, but when they came to Arsenal last year, they were a counter-attacking team with three at the back. I know it's a different manager, but they've been playing this sort of formation, especially at the Emirates and especially away from home, for quite a while now. That's how they got their victory that time at City. They're very counter-attacking football. That style of football does rely a lot on hoping that the attacking team is not clinical. There's a lot of margins involved in how they play, and that's why you've seen a lot of games they played this season where you're like, if they'd have played if Forest would have took their chances, but you've got to take your chances because they can catch you on the counter-attack. But counter-attacking football, you're basically giving up a lot of possession.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
And if you give up a lot of possession against good sides, they'll take advantage of that. So that's what we got to do tomorrow.
Darry says the fans will be key for us winning tomorrow's game. Arsenal win 3-2. My only worry will be the front three attackers.
Fans will be amazing.
Yeah, I think
they've been amazing all season.
Yeah. Wow, loads of comments. Pardon, thank you so much. Jory says,
I'm not.
Very good. I think they're trying to. Yeah.
It's like a bait, and I can't even suss it out.
I think I've sussed it. Shress says if Martinelli's watching this.
Oh yeah, I've sussed it now.
Watching this, I have a message for him. Need a big celebration for him if he scores a goal. Big feeling he is getting one tomorrow. Come on, you Gunners.
I think Martinelli.
I hope you're right.
A Martinelli who's had the last 2 weeks just chilled. Training for this game is going to be a very dangerous player tomorrow.
Paul says, let's see if Conte plays Basuma. Always had a good game against Arsenal. We need to get at them like Leicester did, but we must take the chance. That's a very good point.
That is a shout, right? Because Basuma does play well against Arsenal. He has in the past shackled up the midfield when he's been at Brighton. It'd be interesting to see if they do play him. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they do play Basuma. But if Thomas Partey starts, I'm still confident that we'll win the midfield battle.
I hope you're right. Jivan says, Robbie, how does someone get on a fan cam with you?
Just come up to me and say, can I get on a fan cam?
Yeah, it really buys. It
really is as easy as that. And, obviously, we try our best to get everybody on.
No, I mean, genuinely. And then, there's always the roundup as well. So there's lots of opportunities. So just come find us after games. Nuna says, big up AFTV. James, Zinchenko left back will expose us to the deadly counter of Spurs. I think KT should start. Ethiopian Arsenal fan. I hear that. I do get... I get it. Like, I'm like 55 Zinchenko, 45 Tierney, so fair enough. Now, was there another super chat here? No, I read that one out. Okay, I want to take a slightly different direction because we've definitely covered this North London derby. I want to ask you about some other bits of news that came out today. Saliba, sort of a couple of reports here and there that he's in no rush to sign a new contract. He's focusing on his football. He's enjoying life. Do you think that's just a little bit of negotiation sort of stuff that's just put out in the media? I mean,
I hope
he doesn't need to be negotiating. He can focus on his football.
Yeah, listen, I want to see, we need to get these guys signing. Him in particular, I think after this season, he'd only have a year left.
Yeah.
So we've got to get him tied down to a new contract. Quite obviously, if he doesn't sign a new contract, there's going to be loads of teams coming along looking to tempt him away. So I think it's very important, especially whilst we're playing well, that we get the contract sorted with William Saliba. I think in the past, when he's been asked about it, he seems pretty relaxed and seems like he'd be willing to sign a new one. I'm sure he's feeling the love from the fans. Let's just hope that, he wants to sign a new deal. The thing is about it is that sometimes it's the people around these players. I don't know who represents him and we don't know what they're like. But, in the past there's been some players, I always think of Anelka and think of the people who represented him, how they just got him moved to here, to there, to there, to there, and had he have stayed at Arsenal, maybe what could he have done? So I hope we got to get him signed to a new deal. He's a top player.
Yeah.
Top player.
Mohammed says, big up AFTV. Arsenal Spurs will get a draw because Mikel has the courage to beat Conte football, but their attack is unbelievable, I think he's saying. So he's going for a draw. A lot of Saliba sort of comments in there as well, referencing the chant. I'm not surprised. I think we're going to hear... Maybe it was back in the summer I said all the talk now will be on transfers and incomings, then once that's done it will all be about Martinelli, Saka and Saliba's contract. So just expect more of this, just expect more. They have offers on the table, they're considering their options and they're happy but they're not in a rush to sign, all that kind of stuff that keeps the Arsenal fans on side with the player but also just nudges Arsenal and says, listen, we're not just going to sign it very casually. We want some certain reassurances, we want a certain salary, maybe we want whatever it might be. So I think he very much will be focusing on his football and he'll be saying to his agents, this is where I'd like to play my football, either here or there or whatever, get the best deal you can for me, and that will be it. He looks a very focused individual who is you don't get to be that good, and he's done it in France and now he's doing it in England. We'll see how he does tomorrow. You don't get to that good if you're not supremely focused anyway.
Listen, we've got to sign him to a new contract. He's a quality player. Again, this is what I'm saying, it's a different team at the moment with Arsenal with these sort of players in there. Yeah,
I completely agree. Let me ask you about another bit of news that came today before we hit these super chats. Arsenal and Adidas have extended their deal till 2030.
Wow. That's good. I love the Adidas kits. They make a lot of them. How many more kits are they going to make now between now and 2030?
Honestly,
I mean, that's a long time though, isn't it? That's a really, obviously Adidas must have done very well out of this, and we saw even at the start of this season the best selling kits being Arsenal's kits. And to be fair to Adidas, they've made a lot of very nice kits. I like their kits. When I compared to Puma before,
I think it's 8 more years of kits.
They must have paid a lot of money for that.
But that's assuming the contract ends in 2030 after that season.
Do you know how much it's worth? Because that's a long time. Because you don't see teams sign a contract for that long.
No, that is a long time.
So.
But
do you know how much it's worth?
I don't actually, but the partnerships worked really, really well for both. I think Arsenal, with this kind of young team and everything, I think it needed a brand that was going to reflect that. And Adidas have tapped into the nostalgia, into everything that makes Arsenal what Arsenal is very well, I think. And I've really enjoyed
all the retro kits and stuff. What they're going to do now, they're running out of retros to make. There'll probably be a retro of one of the early kits that they did at the start of the contract. But no, listen, to be fair to Adidas, they've made some really nice kits. They've I like the way that they put a bit of thought into what they've done, like that Jamaica Arsenal one they brought out the other day, those sort of things, there's they really are putting a lot of thought and really are sort of thinking about the fans when they're making the kits. My only thing is sometimes they bring out a bit too many training kits, but then I guess you don't have to buy them.
Yeah.
You don't have to buy them, you know what I mean, if you don't want to, and they are a business and they got to make money, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, but I do like Adidas. I mean, I remember we had Puma before, and I was like, some of the kits Puma made, I was like, nah, man.
Which is annoying, because actually some of the Puma kits I see today are a lot better than what we got for many years.
Yeah, but even the ones they've got today, I'm like, a lot of them, they're like, all right. They're weird, because sometimes they make some outstanding. Yeah, even Nike kits recently.
Yeah,
I used to like Nike. Some of their kits recently, I've been like, yeah, is that it? And they all kind of look really the same. I just don't know. I'm happy with Adidas kits. They do seem to have a connection with Arsenal.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think they've understood the club better than, and maybe that's also just the direction that football fashion's gone in, that there's kind of more of that, well, how does this kit reflect the club? You see, with every design there's something. I think Man City released that design, that black one with kind of the neon colours. I thought that was random, but then there was a story behind that as well.
Worst kit I saw was last year's Puma kit, where they just had the name of the club written across it.
That,
like Man City, Borussia Dortmund, that kit with no badge.
I think they thought they were doing something clever with that as well.
Honestly,
and they didn't look good. Yeah, that was bad.
Shocking.
They looked.
Fenerbahce. I mean, they were awful. That I don't know who came up with the idea of that. Yeah, it was like smart. You know, trying to be smart with it, but
it's minimalism, isn't it? Oh, we'll just put the name. We won't even put the badge. And the badge, I think, was like faded across the shirt. Yeah. Not for me. And you're right, because they kind of released that as the third kit range for the biggest clients they had. But all you did was see the same shirt with just slightly different, or a different name. Yeah,
Borussia Dortmund fans refused to.
Really?
They had to put the badge back on the front of that one, I think, because they were like, they're like, if you don't put the badge back on it, we don't want it.
Wow.
But I think all the other teams like City and they just had it just Man City written on the front. I'm like,
wow. Now, Raoul asks, hi Robbie, did you enjoy the Sidemen versus YouTuber All-Stars charity match?
I did, yeah, I was there. I missed the whole of the first half. I got there, right?
Only the 12 goals there.
No, I saw goals, but I got there, and when I got there, I was a little bit late because my son was playing football, turned up there and got absolutely mobbed outside by about 200 kids, right? And the whole stadium was in lockdown, and they were saying that they're not going to let nobody in. And I was very lucky, actually. They sort of managed to sneak me in the end, and I got in, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. It was good. It was what they did was fantastic. They raised over £1 million for charity. They had over 2 million people watching live. Incredible what these guys, the Sidemen, have done.
Yeah.
So no, it was a really, really good event. Rumour has it that next year they're going to do it at the Emirates.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the rumour. So that would be brilliant if they did it at the Emirates, because it's a fantastic event. It really is.
I tell you what, that would be unbelievable.
Yeah.
And with what KSI and Logan Paul have done with Prime and everything,
Yeah, exactly. They got the Prime.
I'll tell you what, that would be unbelievable. Goal of the match for you? For me,
goal of the match.
Mini Minter at the end there when he chipped the keeper. Well, he did.
Yeah, that was actually.
The keeper is actually playing it down because it was from distance.
It was I think the keeper could have done better, but
side foot lifted.
Yeah, no, it was. That was a brilliant goal. There were some good goals in that game.
Yeah, there were.
There were some good goals, man.
Philly,
yeah. So young Philly at the after party was must have explained his goal to me about 20 times. You know what I mean? But he looked good though. Him and Chunks, they can, and that Harry Pinero at the back was good, man.
Was he? Yeah,
I was quite impressed.
I was at the women's North London derby, so I missed most of it. I caught the highlights.
Yeah. The one thing I would say, right, that made me laugh about watching that game is like, obviously I didn't see the first half, the second half, the pace at which that game was played at. Let's just say it weren't exactly Premier League.
No.
I mean, I think by the time they got to the second half now, and it's sort of the day caught up with like all that running up and down. Players were just walking. But that guy's speed came on. He looked handy. Yeah, he didn't play too bad as well. No, it was a good day.
I saw a few clips of him offside, which made me laugh. But yeah, listen, it looked a lot of fun.
It was good. Well done to those guys, man. And I did enjoy it. I met a load of people down there. I tell you, my favourite moment of that day was after the game, because they were going to do a presentation on stage, but unfortunately they were getting a lot of pitch invaders. But one of my favourite moments of the whole day was that on at least 3 or 4 occasions, the crowd just spontaneously burst out into a chant, which was, "What do you think of Tottenham?"
No way.
The whole crowd.
That is
and
joke.
it wasn't even an Arsenal game.
That is joke.
It was brilliant.
Fair play.
Oh, I loved it, man. Loved it.
I think it's a really, not just a really great thing in terms of what they do for charity, and which is obviously that is the main thing. But it's just such a great advert for YouTube. And
these guys,
the content creators.
Right? I mean, these guys are incredible, man. I was chatting to Mini Minter after the game. I was just saying to me, "Oh, bro, what you guys are doing, respect." We was having a chat actually, because he's a big Leeds fan.
Is he?
Yeah. Massive Leeds United fan. So I said, "Listen, a few weeks' time, we're coming for you, bro. We're coming for you." He goes, "Yeah, you reckon?" I said, "Well, what, you forgot about last year? You remember what we did to you last year?" But he's a massive Leeds United fan.
Okay.
So yeah.
Very good player. Darry says, "What do you guys think Arteta benching Saka and start Nketiah alongside Jesus?
What?
Eddie brings something different."
No.
his
Stop.
pressing.
Forget all that. Why are we changing a winning team? And plus as well, did you see Saka when he came on for England during the week? He changed the game. He was electric. His confidence is going to be right up there. Saka has to start.
Yeah, I'm with you.
That's who, the defenders, Emerson Royale and Sessegnon, they don't want to, Perisic, they don't want to face Saka.
Yeah.
Saka has to start.
Faisal says, "Big up Don Robbie," and he says, "What do we call Tottenham?" ... I think
he means, what do you think of Tottenham?
I think that's exactly what he's saying.
Sure.
AJS 1988 says, "Keep that line nice and high, Mikel. Sonny is coming for you. See you lads tomorrow. Come on, you Spurs. Great show." Well, thank you for the great show.
Keep that line, you see, but you see, that's the thing. All they're relying on is to lump the ball over the top, so hopefully Son can run in behind and score. I'll tell you one thing. Another difference is we've got Saliba now, who's very, very quick.
Yeah.
Right? Very, very quick. So, listen, man, we'll see you tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah.
See you tomorrow.
I mean, you've got to think they'll be prepping for that. You play a high line because you trust your defenders to cover. Liverpool for years have played a high line, but it's okay because they've had Van Dijk, Gomez, Matip, Konate. They're all very, very quick. They're all very athletic. They get back and they command. They win their headers and they say, "Cool, you want to play it in behind, but we're going to sweep
up." Same with
Laporte's
Saliba.
the same.
Yeah.
Laporte's the same. Diaz is the same. Company used to do it.
We come up against teams every week that play like how Tottenham are going to play tomorrow.
Yeah,
they've just got a better strike force, but we come up every,
they are
literally every
on the counter, though.
Yeah, literally every team we play, they're great on. They're coming to counter attack us at the Emirates.
Yeah.
We must be used to playing that at the moment.
Yeah, Vincent says, "Robbie, get with KSI and create a YouTube Summer League."
Ooh, I think them guys are too busy for me, man. But I'll tell you, our AFTV FC team, I think we'd be beating the 2 teams that are out there. But listen.
Yeah, fair enough. Turkish fans, Irish chapter. Saka getting better every week. He's definitely finding his form.
That's so true.
Yeah.
The one we've been looking at the front three, and the start of the season, Jesus, Martinelli been on fire. A lot of times I kind of looked at Saka and said he ain't really. But the last game against Brentford and the previous game today, he's been on fire. And then when he came on for apart from when, Southgate playing him as a left back, but when he came on during the week, right hand side, terrorised the Germans, he's back. And I'm really, really, I think he could be one of the key players tomorrow. Yeah, I really do.
Especially when he goes a little bit under the radar, I feel like he's got something to prove.
I think and he knows what this is all about. Yeah. As a kid that's been at Arsenal since 8 years old.
Yeah. We'll round off on this from Raoul says, also, we are proud of Robbie and team leading in front face as the Arsenal fans. Massive respect for you lot.
Thank you very much, Raoul.
Appreciating the work
really appreciate that. That's nice to know.
Yeah. Oh, Aston Maxon. Hey, from Orlando. Beat the Hurricane now to Bear Sawyer. Florida Gooners, reach out to me if you need any assistance in this trying time. We'll be organising relief in Central Florida. Okay, yeah, this is
big up Aston Mac. Remember Aston Mac?
Oh yeah.
I was thinking about you guys this morning because I was looking at some of that hurricane damage. They were showing it on TV. Man, my God, I never realised it was that bad. Until I saw the storm surges. And that, so listen, praying for you guys, Aston, out there, and everybody over there. I think they said now he's heading for South Carolina, and it was in Cuba before that. And I mean, listen, praying for everybody over there in Orlando. Of course, we were over there in Florida, in the summer. Beautiful place, Florida. Beautiful place.
Oh, we had the best time.
But when I saw the damage, that it's inflicted, I mean, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So praying for everybody over there in Florida, in South Carolina, and Cuba, where it hit before. Everybody in America, I mean, it's a horrible thing, a hurricane. People don't realise how. A lot of times you see a hurricane on TV, when they're showing the footage, and you just see palm trees blowing back and stuff like that. But I remember my parents one time, they were in Jamaica, got caught up in the middle of one of the worst ever hurricanes in the history of Jamaica. And I remember we couldn't even get in contact with them for about 2 weeks. It's terrible. It's the aftermath of a hurricane. Yeah. You can be left without electricity for days, without water, without, everything can get destroyed. And I know there has been a lot of deaths. So, listen, praying for everybody over there in Florida because we were there in the summer and it was such a beautiful place. So, our thoughts are with you right now for sure.
And Aston means that, by the way, guys. You can find him on Twitter and on Instagram.
Aston's a guy who's always helping people.
Oh, he's like, when we were out there in Florida, and this is, he was just so helpful and lovely and looked after us. So
Aston, hopefully tomorrow Arsenal get a win for you and all of those Florida Gooners down there, because I know that you guys do outstanding work down there flying the flag for Arsenal. So to all the Florida Gooners, man, Arsenal, let's hope we can get a big win tomorrow for you guys.
Cirques with the super chat says, huge game, can't wait. We need to destroy Tottenham like Robbie destroyed Simon Jordan.
yes, then we win about 8-0. You lot just want to dig this stuff up, don't you? I never said nothing.
Oh, you didn't say anything. JC says, big up Sir Doneth Robbie on a great interview with David Dean, very insightful.
Oh, that was brilliant. It was a brilliant interview.
A lot of people have actually been saying that.
A lot of people have stopped me and said that. And by the way, we've got another brilliant interview coming out with. I interviewed Alex Scott, who's also got a brand new book out. And that's a brilliant interview as well. She brought some glamour to the studio. But I'll tell you what, her book is deep, and it's a really amazing book. And when she talks about her football career, I said to her in the interview, I don't want to spoil it, I want people to watch it, but one of the things I said to her in the interview, I was like, when I read your book, I go, I've been to see you play a lot of games. I've seen you play in the FA Cup for Wembley, in the FA Cup for Arsenal at Wembley. I've seen you play, for England. When I read in the book that even at that time, to subsidise your playing, you had to be working in the laundry room at Arsenal, washing the men's kits. I was like, what? I'll tell you, the women, they've been through a lot of hardship, right? And I'm glad now that the women's game is starting to get its flowers. I mean, it's still a long way to go, but the England team winning the Euros was a major step, because, that people like Alex Scott are the pioneers of the game. So make sure you check out that interview when it comes out. Brilliant.
And it's why scenes like what we saw last week for the Northumberland Derby were really special. I missed the first 10 minutes of the game queuing to get in. And that is just 53,000.
Amazing. Amazing attendance. Broke records. It's the highest ever attendance for a game in the WSL. And we won 4-0, and all we need now is for the men to repeat that. The men to repeat what the women did last week, and we'll be very happy. Very happy.
Darry, thank you so much for your comments and super chats today. He said, Eddie as a number 9, Jesus on the left and Martinelli on the right. These 3 players were not involved in any of the international games and will be fresh. We're not dropping Saka.
Not dropping Saka. And even the thing is, right, let's remember that Saka, right, he didn't play 2 full games, did he? He only played part of... I think he came off just after half-time. That left-back experiment didn't work. Left wing-back experiment didn't work in the first game. And then in the second game, he came on for like the final 20 minutes. So it's not exactly been pushed, you know what I mean? And also a good thing is that last game was at Wembley. So he was in London, you know what I mean? It's not like he's had to travel around the world like, say, a Richarlison's had to do or whatever. So... These players should be fresh. They should be fresh.
You lot in the comments section are incredible. JC says, I'd love a Robin Van Persie interview, Robbie. Let's try and make that happen. Robin Van Persie, why did you leave?
I don't know. You know what? I would actually like to interview.
Yeah. I'd love to.
And get the full story on it.
Yeah, me too.
You know? Because sometimes we just look on these things from a fan's point of view. It is good to hear a player's point of view sometimes. As, you know, why did you leave? Yeah. I would actually like to do that interview. I would like to sit down with Van Persie and say, you know, come on, tell us, why did you leave? Yeah. Or did you intend to leave? What I think I'd ask him is, like, that season, right at the start of the season, did you already know you were going to leave at the end? Or did you genuinely want to stay, but Arsenal just didn't come up with a good enough offer? I'd be... Yeah. Because you see, if you read David Dean's book, he says that he apologised to Ashley Cole. Really? And it was Ashley Cole wanted to stay at Arsenal, even after, obviously they had that first sort of thing where he got caught out meeting with Chelsea. But he said after that, they were going to do a deal, but Arsenal just didn't want to push out that extra, I think it was something like an extra $5,000 a week. And he goes, it was wrong. He said it was all Arsenal's fault, not... Wow. So... Wow.
Jonah says, Kane over Henry, with a reply from Jack saying Shamak over Kane. So there you
Kane go. Over Henry.
Oh, Shamak beats them all.
Going, yeah, bro. Chill out. I don't want to... I try not to swear here, you know.
Yeah, I'm with you. Paul says, I hope Arsenal PR grows up and gets David Dean's book into the armoury. I loved 100%. And enjoyed the interview. Big up, Robbie. North London is red. Come on, you Gunners.
You're so right. You know, I mean, that book, and I think Alex was saying to me, her book's not in there either. Yeah, those books should be in the armoury.
Yeah, they should be.
You know, that should be the first place David Dean's book should be is in the armoury. The first place. That's, as a matter of fact, they should be doing a book launch in the armoury. That's where the book should be launched, in my view. And any other Arsenal player or ex-executive or somebody who writes a book, unless it's derogatory about... And I've read his book, it's not derogatory about Arsenal. You know, so... And he still goes to Arsenal. He's still got season tickets at Arsenal. He goes and watches every game. He'll be there tomorrow. So his book should be in the armoury.
Yeah. Omar says, love for the love. And I think that's a nice way to end it. Robbie, we've got the North London Derby tomorrow. Guys, we're going to be covering it just from every angle. We've got the Starting 11 show. We've got the live watch on. We've got full-time fan cams coming after that. The roundup, the player ratings, some stuff on socials as well, guys. Follow us everywhere.
If we win the game, I'll be here. I promise you I'll be here all night.
Yeah,
I'll stay the whole evening. We'll do about 10 lives.
Yeah. Do you know what? It's my dad's birthday. And
your dad's birthday?
I'll sack it all off. See you later, Dad.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Tomorrow, yeah. Would you want your North London Derby the day of your birthday?
No.
No, me neither.
No, because what if that... Actually, no. You know, if it's the day of your birthday, if it goes wrong, you still go out and just get smashed. And if you win, you can go out and get smashed. So actually, maybe it's a good idea to have it on your birthday.
You know what? Maybe that's the way to do it. All right, well, I'll make sure to send him a big happy birthday for that tomorrow. All right, guys, we'll leave it there. Don't forget that the AFTV Plus app is out now. That includes a player rater, a selector. You can do PICK10 as well.
PICK10, you can win 10 grand, and you can win the brand new iPhone 14. So
what more could you want? All you got to do is let us know who you think's
click the link in the description. Yeah, do your predictions.
Look at that. But yeah, the AFTV Plus app will keep you up to date with everything we're doing. It processes the latest videos. It's got news articles. It's got notifications to update you on all big news. So there's lots coming. So look out for that on iOS and Android devices. All right, North London Derby Day tomorrow.
North London is red.